This conference will now be recorded.
Right. Last class, we've been talking about interface with methods. Whenever you want to share a method, one method across the component, we use interface. Whenever you want to share an attribute across a component, we use interface. Same way, today we will see interface with event. Whenever you want to share an event across a component, what do you mean by sharing? Now, if you remember the event concept, right? Event can be fired by one, can be handled by many. One component fires it, parent, grandparent, right? If it's a component, even it goes bubbling, right? It goes down to up, right? And everyone can handle it. But question is that, can everyone fire it? No. In event, one fires, other handles. One fire, multiple handling in single word. One firing, multiple handling. We have seen in the event classes. One component will fire, remaining component will handle it, application will handle it in application event. The siblings can handle it. One fire, multiple handle. My requirement is multiple fire, multiple handle. Multiple fire, multiple handle. In that case, I have to create multiple events. Or if I create a single event, then what I have to do, right? I have to create individual events. If multiple components wants to fire, then I have to have a multiple events, right? Hence, the concept of interface comes in. Whenever you want one event, the event can be fired by anyone. Anyone can fire, right? And everyone can receive it. Multiple to multiple. Multiple firing, multiple handling. Multiple firing, multiple handling. We use interface for event. We declare the event in an interface. Whichever component is implementing that interface can fire, can handle. That means if there are 20 components who are right, who are implementing the interface, all the 20 can now fire the event, and all the 20 can also handle the event. Fire the event, handle the event. Multiple firing, multiple handling. We do with interface. Single firing, multiple handling. We do with what? Event concept. That is the purpose, right? Single attribute declaration, single component. But single attribute declaration in an interface, multiple component can access the same attribute. Same concept. Once you define a method, right, the method will be accessible by multiple. If you put in a component, then only the parent can access, not others. Here, others can also access. Is a part of that whoever is a part of that or whoever is implementing that interface can access the method. Same concept here. The way multiple component can access attribute, multiple components can access an method. Same way, multiple components can access an event. In event, there are two things: firing and handling. That means multiple fire, multiple handle. Now let's go ahead and do this and check it out practically. What does I mean? Rupam @lt96.com, password CRM1234 hash. CRM1234 hash. Let me log into the environment. Right. So I click on setup. I click on developer console. Right. I close all the open components, whichever has been open here. Right. There we go. File, new, lightning interface, li hyphen 1206 hyphen eg1 hyphen interface with events, interface with events, interface with event, right? Interface with event. Now, to create an event, this is an interface. Inside the interface, I need to have an event. I will say interface template with event. Now, where is my event? For that, I have to create an event also, because events are not created inside the template. They are created separately outside. So now what I'm creating? File, new, lightning event. Lightning event. LE, lightning event. Lightning event 1206 example 1. I copy the name. This is the event that I'm creating. This is the event I'm creating. Right? This is the event that I'm creating. This is the event I'm creating. Now, I told you in the event, you can have a blank event, you can have an event with an attribute. So again, what I will do, I will remove this lightning event, whatever event you want. Let us take a component event. Component event. Multiple component can fire, multiple component can handle. Multiple component, parent can also fire, right? Grandparent can also fire, child can fire, grandchild can fire. But because I'm taking component event, right? If it fire a child, right? So fire can also, child can also fire. I'll draw a diagram and show you. It will be only bubbling. Handling has to be done in bubbling. If not, then take here, just replace with application, right? Automatically everyone can handle. Now inside this aura attribute, aura attribute, name equals to, right? EMP NAME, EMP NAME, employee name. Type equals to string. Type equals to string. I have created an event, component event with an attribute. That event, now a component, whichever component want to fire, it has to register. Wherever the fire happens, register, then fire. Register, then call the event, then fire the event. This is how it works. Whoever wants to handle, they have to use aura handler. Whoever wants to fire, they have to use what? Right? They have to aura register event. Now what I'll do is that I will register the event in the interface so that anyone can fire. I will say aura, right? Register event. Aura register event. Name equals to anything. What is the name I'll give? I'll give the name as what? Because in component event, name plays an important role. Remember this. But whereas an application event, if you have learned the classes, name plays no role. If you, whatever the name you declare, we don't use anywhere. But here, name is, with the name only we call. So name would be what, right? INTERFACE, interface event. Name is interface event. Name. Type, what type it is. C, and the event name. This is how you register event. This is how you register event. The event that I just created, I'm registering it, right? Registering the event. The event that I created, I'm registering the event, right? I'm registering the event. So I have an interface, I have an event. I created an event. That event I am registering inside the interface, aura interface, aura interface. Within the aura interface, I am registering an event. Now I close this event, right? Event is registered. Inside the event, there is a attribute. Now let us go ahead and create a component. New lightning component. LC, 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 right? Lightning component. I click on sub. Let me copy this name. Control C, right? Oh, sorry. I click on submit. I click on submit. Now I'm clicking on submit, right? I'm creating a component. This component will subscribe this component. I will say what? I will say implements. I am implements. Implements what? C colon. What is our interface name? What is our interface name? This is our interface name. Oh, LC is our. Where is LI? I didn't copy the LI. Okay. LI hyphen 1206 hyphen EG1 hyphen INTERFACE interface WITH with EVENTS control S implements this. I'm calling my interface. Whatever the interface that I created, I'm calling my interface. Clear now? Now, here I can fire event, I can handle event. To fire event, I have to register, but already register is done here. So I need not to re-register here. Let's assume that this component itself will fire, this component itself will handle. Both handling and firing will be done by this component. Handling and firing will be done by this component. Let's assume, right? Let's assume handling and firing will be done by this component, right? So what I will do, I will go ahead and I will say aura, right? Aura to fire. Let me fire with a button. LIGHTNING lightning BUTTON button. What is that? Label. Label equals to what? Label equals to submit. Right? Whenever you click on it, what should happen? Equals to exclamation mark, right? C colon, right? Call me. Right? This is the button. I'm directly placing a button. Control Z. I'm directly placing a button. With this button, we'll fire the event. Call me. I'm going to the controller. I say my action. Right? I replace my action with call me. Then how to fire an event? First get the event. Where EVT. I told you we always use EVT in the real time, so I am habitual of using EVT. You can put any name there. EVT. Component dot get event. Component dot get event. Get event. You have to give the name of the event. Nickname. What is the event nickname? Right? Interface event is the nickname. Get the event. Once you got the event, in the event there is attribute. I can pass a value to the attribute. EVT dot set params. Set params. Always the param set has to be in a JSON format. In a JSON format. What is in the, oh shit, we close the event, no? In the event, there is EMP name, if I'm not wrong. EMP and NAME. I created an attribute called EMP name. Pass EMP name with, whenever you're hard coding a value, then only you'll put quotes. If you're dynamically, if you're passing, then don't put a quotes. I will say Rupam. Now I've set the param and I'll fire the event. EVT dot fire. EVT dot fire. Event is fire. Event is fire. Control S. Event is fire and the data is passed. Event is fire and the data is passed. I could have used Apex input here, sorry, Aura input, and then I had have with the attribute, and then I have passed those attribute. Whatever the input value is there, I'd have passed through the button. But I'm directly hard coding it. Now, who can handle? Who can handle? Anyone can handle. whoever is subscribing this event can handle. Let's assume that here only we want to handle. Whoever wants to handle, they have to put what? Aura handler. So this component is firing as well as handling. This component is firing as well as handling. Aura handler. Name. What is the name? The name of the event. Interface event. Name is very important, I told you. Interface event. EVENT event. Event equals to what? Event equals to, right? You have to give the name of the event. Right? Here it is. Control C. Original name. Nickname, original name. Original name is this event. Now, whenever you call this event, what is the action that has to happen? ACTION action. Action equals to what? Action equals to what? Exclamation C dot show. C dot show. Nobody should get confused because we have already written this command when we are doing event or a handlers. Control. Now I go to my controller. Comma show. Copy. Control C. Control V. Two brackets. My show. Same as call me show. In the show, what I will do? I can get the param. Whatever the parameter that I've passed, I will not say get param. I will say alert. Alert what? I will give a message. The event is fired. The event is fired by by right by this component. The event is fired. That's it. No by. Event is fired. Control S. Come here. Control S. Perfect. Now I'm creating an application. New lightning application. I will say LA lightning application. Control C. Submit. System is creating an application. I will say C colon, not cap C, small c, not LA, LC, right? Extends equals to force SLDS. Force SLDS. Control S. Click on preview. My component loads. As soon as I click on it, the event is fired. This is fired. Who is handling this? The same event is handling. The same component is handling the event. This component is firing. Example one component is firing and handling. Now let's go ahead and create one more component. Lightning component. One more. LC. Example one underscore two. Wherever you have example one, simply example one, that is underscore one. This is example two, second component I'm creating. I copy this. I'm creating one more component. Oops, sorry. Oh, every time let me close this. All right. Here it is. To submit. I want this component also to handle. This component also to handle. This component 2 is handling now. Okay. Wherever there's a handling, what I will do, right? What I will do, I will go ahead and I will write what? I will write handler. Aura handler. Aura handler. Here I will write a lightning card. LIG lightning CARD card. Title equals to TITLE title. Title equals to what is this? COMPO comp2 only handle. It's only handling. only handle. Now inside this, the employee name is what? Is what? I will declare one attribute first. Aura attribute, right? Aura attribute. Name of the attribute equals to what? En, right? Type equals to what? String. Perfect. Aura attribute. I will say en exclamation v dot en. Employee name is Control S. From where this employee name has to come, guys? Where this employee name has to come, guys? This employee name has to come from where? Right? This employee name has to come from the event, right? This employee name has to come from the event. Tell me, how do you get the employee name from the event? How do you get employee name from the event? Right?
Set params.
Set params or get params?
Sorry, get param then set.
Right. So first we have to get the params, right? So will you guide me? Because I don't know, right? I don't know how to do this, right? So I will not say anything. Now you will guide me how to do this. Clear? Everyone agrees? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let's do this. Now I go to my second. Oh, by the way, I have to implement. Unless until you implement, you can't implement. In the second component also I have to put implement. Then only it can handle the event, right? So there we go. Control S. Now, right, show. Control C. I go to the controller. Now show. So tell me, guys, what should I do?
Component dot
First of
sorry
all,
event. Component dot event.
first of all,
Var
get the
event.
event, right? Var
Var
event.
event.
You have to find the var event, right? You have to get the event, right? Yes. Next, tell me what.
EVT dot.
Okay. Next, evt dot get
Get param.
param. No S. S is there or not there?
No.
No.
There. So where I have to store
Yes.
this? Where? Do I have to store somewhere? Where name name. Var name equals to event dot get param. Is that correct?
JSON. Yes, sir.
Right. So how I have to put get param? How? JSON.
JSON format. In curly bracket.
JSON format. And then
Semicolon.
okay. That's it.
Double quotes.
Double quote.
Double quote. What? The name.
Name.
Whatever the name of it. Right. Control C. I go here. That's the name. So it will get
Colon.
the param. Right? Correct? Any problem?
Colon.
Yes.
Colon. Why colon? Colon is there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
Colon.
No JSON format, sir, I think.
Not JSON format. See, now you people have forgotten.
JSON format only.
JSON format only. Check it out.
No,
JSON format or not in JSON format?
not a JSON format, sir, like a string only directly.
See, we have to bring it directly. Get is directly string, not in a JSON format, guys.
And previously we used event.get param, but here
Get param.
Okay. Yes.
మర్చిపోతున్నారు. You guys are forgetting. You guys are forgetting. This is not the right. This is event dot, right? You want to check? Lightning resource. Whereas event, example 1, event with data, parent. Let's open the parent controller, right? How we get it? See, event.get param, event.get param, control C. No JSON, directly event dot what? This is the thing. I was doing exactly the same thing. మనం ఇదే రాస్తున్నాం కదా, whatever the parameter name is there. Now, do you think we have to get the event?
No.
Event is required? Is it that you have to get the event?
No, sir.
Yes or no?
No.
Require or not require?
Not required.
Half of you are thinking, require or not require? I don't know what he's asking. Event. You can take, right? Event, parent, application event. No. So let me see, right? Component event. Where is that event with data? In the parent. Right?
First 6.
I'll open this. Right? I will open grandparent with the data. Right? Let's open this too. Both parent and grandparent. I'm going to the parent, grandparent. I'm opening it. Right? Okay. In that there is nothing. So grandparent is waste. In the parent, right? I go to the controller. I directly say that event dot get param the name. Right? Event dot get param the name. Right? Employee name. This is a parent and the data entered in the child is this. I don't need to do the get also. I don't need to say EVT because anyhow I'm not using EVT anywhere. No, it is only for fire. This line is also not required. Right? This line is also not required. With me, half of them you're forgetting. I know that. Right? Now, right, I'm handling, right? There's Aura handler. We are handling the event, right? This is the event. And what I will do, I will go ahead and I will, right? I will go ahead and set this to the, right? This attribute. What is the attribute? En. I will say component dot set. Component dot set what?
En,
Right?
comma, name.
Right? V dot en,
En,
comma,
comma,
name.
name.
Control S. One firing, other is taking it. Because it is a component event, I have, it will go only up. That means this is a parent. How will I define this as a parent? How will I define this as a parent?
By
Right?
calling another
I
component.
have to call the child component. That means I have to call this component. I have to call this component. Right? C colon control S. Now this is inside 2. So this became parent. So finally, those who are not able to understand, please refer to the event classes. I'm not doing anything else. Now I go to my app and I call what? The parent. Because child is also already there inside the parent. Control S. Right? Update the preview. I'm updating it. Component 2, the name is submit. The event is fired and the name comes here, Rupam. In the parent, the name is coming up. Right? Now, understood? I click the submit. It is in another component. As soon as I click on it, it's in one, component 1. I click OK, component 2 displays the data. Earlier, component 2 is not displaying the data. Now you see that component 2 is displaying the data. As soon as I click on submit button component 1 is also firing as well as handling. This message is a part of handler in component 1. I click OK. Component 2 only handling. Component 2 only handling. Now I'll create one more, component 3. There I will handle and fire. I'll create one more, right? So if you are getting confused, this is the event. This is, right, the component one. I'm closing all the JS, right? This is the application. This is the application, right? This is the component two. Now I'm creating one more file, new lightning component. I will say 3. In the 3 also will fire. Now component 1 is firing, component 3 is firing. Submit. How many are firing? Component 1 will fire and component 3 will fire. I go to the 1. I copy, right? I want to only fire, so I don't need a handler, right? Control C. Now I paste it here. I'll say submit 3. Remember that submit 3 is a part of, otherwise I'll put a lightning card. LIGHTNING, lightning CARD card. Inside the lightning card, I will put this button, Control X. I will say title equals to what? I will say comp 3. What is this? Fire. Fire only. If you want, I can put the same thing in comp 1 also, so that you don't get confused. Same button. Control X, I put here. Control V. I will say comp 1, fire and handle. Comp 1, fire and handle. Comp 2, only handle. Comp 3, only fire only. Comp 1, fire and handle. Comp 2, only handle. Comp 3, only fire. Comp 4, fire and handle. Everybody will be subscribing to what? Implements the same interface. Implements the interface. Whenever you click on the submit 3 button, it will call a call. In the call me, I have to fire. Control S. How to fire? Which we already did in example 1. When you go to the example 1 controller, we have fired. Control C. I'm closing it, right? I'm going to, and I'm saying fire. And here I will not say Rupam, I will say Ravi. Remember that whenever component 1 is firing, it's Rupam. Whenever component 3 is firing, it's Ravi. Ravi 3. Fire. Component 3. Right? Inside the component 3, I will call what? Component 2. Inside this, I will call what? Component 2. Component 2 is now the parent. Inside that, I will call what? Component 2. I didn't copy the third name, anyhow, fine. Inside this, above or below, wherever you want. You want the above, so above. On the top, C colon. I'm calling. Control S. Now, right? I go to my app. Anywhere we made a change, Control S. Everywhere. Now I go to my app. Here I will say 3. I'm loading 3 now. 3 is calling 2, 2 is calling 1. Right? 1, fire and handle. 2, handle only. 3, fire only. There will be total 2 buttons. One button will be available in component 1. Another button will be available in component 3. Right? Control S. Update preview. There will be 2 buttons available. Right? Now, if I submit, I click submit. Component 3 submit. Nothing is happening. Why? Because inside component 3, component 2 is there. Component 2 is a child. Tell me, in a component event, can a child handle? No. In a component event, down, higher, inheritance cannot handle. It's only up. Only up can handle. Component 3 is the parent now. Inside that, we have component 2. Component 2 is a child. Component 1 is a grandchild. Component 1 is a grandchild, right? So component 1 cannot handle, component 2 cannot handle, because the fire happened at where? Component 3. Who can handle? Who can handle? Right? If I create a component 4, then component 4 can handle the firing of component 3. Guys, I don't want you to get confused. Right? Same component event. I clicked on fire, but I'm not getting the employee name. I should get Ravi 3. Why? Because Ravi 3 will not go down. Ravi 3 will go up, bubbling. Up, there is nothing. Right? Because inside component 2, you're calling, inside component 3, you're calling component 2. Inside component 2, I'm calling component 1. That means component 2 is a child of component 3 and component 1 is a child of component 2. That means component 1 is a grandchild, child. This is a parent and this is a grandparent. In a component event, right? In a component event, it's not up, it's not down, it is always up, goes up the hierarchy. Now I will create one more component. Component 4 I'm creating. New, lightning, component 4. Right? Component 4. I'm creating one more, component 4. Inside the component 4, I'll call component 3. Right? So done. Component 4 I'm creating. Component 4 I'm creating. Right? I will say implements. Okay, let me close. I will say implements. This also implementing the same interface. Right? First, let me call what? Component 3 inside it. Then it will become child. Then it will become child. Control C. C colon. Right? I will say 3. Inside 3, we have 2. Inside 2, we have 1. Or in other word, here I can call 1, 2, 3 separate also. See, if an event occurs in child, parent can handle, grandparent can handle. Right? So the parent is now what? 4. Right? Now we can handle it here. I will handle. I will handle. Whenever I want to handle, I will write what? Aura handler. Let me copy this. Right? No. Where is the 2? Here it is. Let me copy this. Aura handler. Aura handler. Aura handler. I will say component 4 only handle. Component 4 only handle. Same thing, right? Aura handler. So let me write the component 4 show. Show. Control V. Right? Only handle. So I'll go ahead again, go to my right. So Control S. In the show, I want to get the value from where? Right? Who has fired? Fired was done by 3. Whenever it's firing, firing is setting Ravi 3. Now I have to get the Ravi 3. Where? In component 4. In component 4, how to get the value? Simple, 2 lines. Control C. Right? Control C. Component 4. From the same get the value. That means from the same event, the event is inside the interface. It can store 2 values. It can store how many values? 2. Rupam and Ravi. See that? Rupam and Ravi. Now this 4 I'm calling in the app. Where is the app? I will say 4. 4. I will say Control S. Everywhere if it's Control S, yes. I will submit preview. Total 4 are there now. Whenever I hit the submit button, up, child, it got fire, parent is handling, but not grandchild. Able to understand? Diagram, PAINT, paint. Everybody, yes or no? Able to understand or no? Yes. Multiple, one
Yes.
event, multiple components are firing. What I did, this is the application. This is the application. Right? This is the application. Green. Next. On that, there is a component. This is component 4. This is component 4. This is component 4, COMP, comp 4, not can't see. So I'm taking all in black, component 4. Inside component 4, I have component 2, component 3, sorry, right? Let it be what? Purple, right? This is my, control Z. What? Component 3, comp 3, comp 3, comp 3. Inside the comp 3, I have comp 2. Comp 2, I'm taking at what? Right? Some lightest green, yellowish lemon green, right? Now I'm saying, what is this? COMP, comp 2. Inside the comp 2, finally, I have one more component. Let it be pink, fill with pink. Control Z. Pink is comp 1, right? All of them are connected to what? Connected to an interface. All of them are connected to what? Connected to an interface, right? All of them are connected to an interface. Inside the interface, I created an event. An event was created. This event was put inside the, this event what put inside where, right? This event was put inside where? The interface. This was called inside the interface. It was called interface. Then every component is connected to this interface. Every component is connected to the interface. All the components. Oh, not the app, sorry. The blue one was the app, no, sorry, green one was the app, no. App was not connected, my mistake, right? App is not connected. Only the components are connected. Rubber, right? App was not connected, only components are connected. The top one is the app, app. Green is app, app. Now what is happening? Component 1 is fire handle. Fire handle. Tell me now, in the component 1, if it's getting fire, who can handle? Component 2 can handle,
Component
component
2,
3 can handle,
component 3,
component 4 can handle, right? Now that is exactly, whenever I press the component 1 button, right, everyone can handle. See, component 4 is also showing Rupam, component 2 is also showing Rupam. Up, 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 everyone can handle, right? Component 2, I said what? Handle only. Component 2 is handle only. Component 3 is fire only. Component 4, HANDLE, handle, right? That means where is the handle? Handle is in component 2 as well as in component 4, also in component 1. In component 1, it's a message based handling. See, whenever I press the button in component 1, I can see the message in 4 because it can handle, right? Because it's a up bubbling, because it is a up bubbling, it will go like this. It will go from up. Now, if the event fire hears in component 3, who can handle? Who can handle?
4.
3 and above. Only 4 can handle. If an event fire hears, then everyone can handle up. See, this is exactly what it's doing now, right? When I click on submit 3, you see that On the 4, Ravi 3 is coming up. But component 2 is still showing Rupam. That means multiple component are firing one event. One event only. I didn't declare 2 events. One event, multiple component. Like this, I can have 100 components. Fire, handle, whatever combination you want. Multiple component can fire, multiple component can handle. Multiple component can fire, multiple component can handle. How? Through the interface. Because all are connected to the interface. That's the reason you're able to achieve. Because I'm not individually connecting this to this event. Earlier, component used to connect to the event. Now, no. Component is not connected to the event. Component is connected to the interface. Interface is connected to the event. In the earlier diagram, whenever we used to handle the event classes, event used to be linked to the component. Now I'm not linking the event. I'm not connecting the event to a component. Event is connected to the interface, right? Multiple component interfering, implementing the interface can use it. Understood? What is the use of interface? Where one event, right, can be accessed by multiple component. Multiple component can handle. But suppose if I make now that event as I given as event as what? Component event. If I make it as application event, I'll just go and change the word called application. What will happen? Even if I click on, even if the component 3 fires, it will not only go up, it will also come down. If I make an application event, it will not only go up, it will also come up, come left, come right. If it's an application, but we have not created an application event. That means if I press a button in, if I press the button in comp 3, right, comp 1 also will show Ravi. Comp 4 also will show Ravi. Every direction it'll propagate. Propagation will happen all the direction. Up, down, left, right. But in component event only up. In the component event only up. Right? Simple change. If I go and do that, it'll work. There's no meaning at all. I need not to show you also. It'll work. If I click on submit 3, even component 2 will show Ravi there. Because that's an application event you are sharing. Right? So one event can be shared by multiple components. Multiple components can fire, multiple components can handle. We do with the help of what? We do with the help of what? Through the help of interface. Interface supports 3. Interface supports 3 components or elements of Lightning. What are those? Event. Event is element. Aura method, right? As well as attribute. One attribute can be shared across 100 components. Using what? Aura attribute. One method can be shared, right, across multiple components. Using what? Using interface. One event can be shared across multiple components. Using what? Using interface. Right? That's what is the class for today. Everybody understood? Yes or no? Yes or no? Everybody understood? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? Interface. What is the use of interface? Interface helps to share a resource to multiple components. Simple word. Why do you use interface? What is the real-time use of interface? Real-time use of interface is whenever you want to share resources across the component, we use interface. Right? Interface supports 3 elements. What are those? Attributes, events, and methods. Right? Done. So this is the concept. Tomorrow we will start tokens. Tomorrow we will see tokens. Token. Right? Tomorrow means Monday. Monday we will see token. Your mid of the week, your class, link will change. You will receive a new link. Link will change. I have not yet created the link. Link will change. Please check your email, right? And log into the link. Link is not same. link will change from Monday, guys. So don't log in with this link. Remember that Monday morning, don't forget to check your email. Your link you will receive by Sunday evening. Sunday evening, you'll receive the link. Sunday evening, you'll receive the link. So please, right, don't be in a hurry. Sunday evening by 5-6, you'll receive the link. Clear?
So suppose if I take the Salesforce data, then same process means saving the data and calling this server-side control everything.
Regarding what you're asking this question related to what?
Interface
Yeah, it is a Salesforce data only. No? Yes, that's correct. We are talking about
everything.
Salesforce data.
Yeah.
Sharing
Yes.
of
Everything.
Salesforce data, right? Within, right? Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Right?
I have a
Oh,
question in LDS group. One
yes.
question.
Yeah. Oh,
So
LDS part. Did somebody posted the program, by the way? No.
yeah. It's posted. But my
Okay.
question is on the if we implement the LDS functionality in the child level, I mean the child has all the method, and if you do it, then you'll having the issue.
I didn't got
But
it.
I have another question on LDS. Like for example,
LDS is individual, right? I mean, why it is a child? LDS is linked to only to component, whether it's a child, whether it's a parent, right? It is linked to component and that particular controller.
right, but in day before yesterday, the example is related to when you enter information in the component.
Right. So
Component.
there you will use, see, there are two ways to do that. You can use an aura method, write a child method. In the child method, right, declare attributes. Parent will call the method and it will pass the attribute. In the method
Right.
action, write the server-side controller in LDS. Automatically, as the data is passed, immediately, right, as the data is passed. So how will they pass the data? Right, you will create an LDS, you will create an LDS attribute. That attribute you will put in force data field equals to that attribute, and you have to pass a value to the field. Woof woof.
Right.
Right. Tell me.
So my question is just a normal LDS program where we have only one component. You provided all the let's say you're planning to create an account data. So you provided all the name, phone number, fax, and in the same component itself you provided the account ID. Once you submit a button, so using the record data, I mean using Aura handler, you initiate that new record, and then when you click the button, when you try to save a record and get that record, I didn't show the same component. So I'm getting the component, but it's not showing on the page. So I use the reload.
Sir, 1 minute. You need not to use new there. The example that I gave you, one component. In this component, you have name. You can use what? You can directly use name, phone, fax.
Right.
Name, phone, fax.
Let's say I have account ID also.
Wait. 1 minute. Forget about account ID. Right. Wait. Name, phone, fax. And then you have a button. One button. Right. In this component, don't use LDS. In this component, attribute equals to account, default equals to subject account. So that you can initialize it and you can type. All the data that you're typing here, will be stored in ACC. Right? How to initialize. Now, whenever you call this button, I'm writing one more component, which I'm calling inside it. Right? In this component, what I will have, I will declare an aura attribute. I will pass the data from here to here. The ACC I will pass. How you pass? Whether you take a method, whether you take interface now you see that through interface also I can pass between the two components. You use interface, I don't mind. The data comes to this. Once the data comes, I'll use aura method, because in aura method both are available. I have a function to be executed, I have data to be captured. In Aura
Right.
method, I get two things at a time. Method can have action, ACTI, and action can call a function, right? What is that? Dots, exclamation, right? C dot save me. Along with that, you can also have attribute, ATTRIBUT. Now, in the child, I will write, in the child, I am writing child controller. I will write LDS. Here, I will declare in the component, I will say force data. Force data. In the force data, you have to give what data? Whatever the attribute that I got, that I will pass to the force data. That I will pass to the force data. That I will pass to the
Right.
force data. And whenever you click the button, this button will also call this action. Automatically, in the action, I will write the LDS. LDS, right? Save. I will not initialize here. I don't need to initialize. Or I will just write the save function. So in other words, I don't need to use new record not required. I can directly go ahead and write the save command here. One line command. That's the reason I told you it is quite simple for me to create, because here anyhow the attribute I will store in one attribute, single attribute called account. That single attribute I'll pass here, only one attribute. That attribute I'll map with the force data. Whenever this action is called, this force data with an Aura ID I will call inside the action. Here I will write save me. In the save me, right? I will just write a single line. What is that? Right? LDS save command, save record command, save record method I'll call. And with save record, this force data. This force data already have passed the attribute, so automatically account will be created. This is the whole logic.
Okay.
I will not write any initialization command here in the component to know. That means it is not compulsory that you need to have initialization command every time. New record, right? Because I'm initializing somewhere else. Without a force data, I'm initializing it. How to? There are two ways of initializing it: with a LDS initialization, non-LDS initialization. What is the non-LDS initialization? It's nothing but attribute. Attribute name equals to ACC, type equals to ACC, right? Default equals to S object account. It is initializing. Without an LDS,
Right.
also I can initialize, right? So I will initialize without LDS. LDS I will use only for saving data, not for initialization. Done. So don't try to initialize in two places. Getting it?
Might be I initialized in the child also, so probably
No.
that.
So right, initialize in the parent, capture the data, pass the data to the child, in the force data, right? Pass the attribute. Field equals to, which are the attributes, fields you're covering. Pass the fields or the attribute, and then directly go ahead, save it. Directly go ahead and save it. That's it, right?
Sure.
If it's right, if a force data is accepting field, then what you'll do, attribute name is, let's say that here it's called ACC. When you are bringing here, you call it A. Then in the field, give a dot name, comma a dot phone, comma a dot fax in a JSON, right? In a curly, right? A dot. You have to give a field name, no name, comma phone. Those field only will be saved at coverage area.
Okay, so when we define attribute within the method, still we can use that attribute in the force data.
Yes, you can. That is the reason. You have to pull the attribute from the method. You have in the controller. You have to pull the attribute. What is that? Arguments. From the arguments, you have to again store the attribute separately. Dot name equals to dot name, and then in the force data, name comma nm comma nm comma ph comma fx. From where it came, you have already declared in this declared three attributes. Whatever the one attribute is coming from there, read the name, put it in the nm. Read the phone from the argument dot phone, put in the phone. Where fx equals to argument dot, because argument will contain the value always, right? You have seen that the method arguments is what it collects the data. So now from the argument, take one data out and put in the child attributes. In the child component, create three attribute, because there are three data. All these three data will come in only one data called as argument.
Right. So yeah, one question in the child. So do we need to create 3 attributes, or we can use the same
Yes, three
object with ACC?
three attributes. You have to create 3 attributes, because when you are passing ACC, right? Or you can create 1 attribute also. Try with 1 attribute also. Create
I
1
tried
attribute,
with
pass whole ACC.
Yeah, I tried with the same all the things except I initialize in the child.
Right. So initialize, don't initialize in child, initialize in parent.
Yeah.
That's what I
That's
can
what
tell you.
maybe I'll retry. Yep, sure.
Right? Should be
Yep.
good. It
One
should be
more.
working, guys. Yes.
Sure. Yeah. Other than this example, I have another question. For example, in the parent component you're showing in the screen where name, phone, and fax, right? Let's say I have display purpose account ID is there. So when you give a name, phone, and fax, when you submit the button, the LDS itself, the component itself, we have a new create record and the save record. When you save it, you retrieve the
Now
record ID.
I got it. I got it. See, the ID will be now in child. Then you have to pass it back to the parent. Then you have to pass it back to the parent. ID will be in the child.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. My question is, without any method, if I want to do everything in one component,
then you don't need all these things, no?
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Then I
So
don't even need Aura method then.
No, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm completely agree in Aura method. Without Aura method, I'm just trying only simple LDS. So
Yes.
when I tried to show the account ID in console, I'm able to retrieve that ID information, but it is not showing on the page. So I
Why
tried
not?
reload.
We did that, no? We did that. We did in the message. So create an attribute called as string, right? Result.id, where that attribute name, right? First declare var a equals to result. In the function, I always put result.id. Result.id will give you ID. There's an example, you
Right.
can see that, right? An ID, you can declare a variable and then say component.set. Declare an attribute in the component and pass that ID to that set. And wherever you want to put, it should be working 100%.
No, I tried with object, like account object, one attribute. I create only one attribute with name equal to ACC.
No, you have to create one more attribute then, because
Yeah,
this is outside the set. No, you cannot put in the same set. It's outside the set.
Okay, so if I give the another attribute, it is working fine. But if I try with the same account
No,
object,
it will not work. No, it will not work, because see, that is a set one where without attribute is there, right? On that you are trying to add. No, it will not work. You have to, because that is separate. This is separate, right? Starting there was no ID. After saving, ID got generated. So now you cannot pass this to the same set one.
Once I got the ID, I'm setting up with the same attribute ACC with the ID.
No, it will not work. It will not work. So you have to create a separate attribute for that and then display it.
Yeah, in that case, yeah, right? It is working. Yeah.
It will work. Obviously, it will not work because both are separate set of data. Before save is one set of data, after save is one set of data, right? So obviously, you cannot mix both. If you want, then you can do that. To that, you have to say add, push. You have to push it. Use the push command. You remember? You have to.
Sure.
Then it will work. So that push on that. So I'm forcefully pushing on that. This also, right?
Sure. Yeah, I'll try with push. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
With the push, you can do that then. Okay.
I have one more doubt regarding interface application event. I think no need to mix interface and application event, right? In real time.
Why? I didn't got it. What exactly you mean? You are saying that in real time we need not to create an application event inside interface. Yes. We don't need any interface.
Suppose if we go with multiple files, multiple handlers, we can go with component and component application and interface. Suppose if I fire single application, single fire and multiple handler, we can go with the application event, right? But there is no need to mix both implement and application events, right?
I'm still not clear. Once again.
I think in real time, no need to mix both interface and application event. Why? Because if I go with one file, multiple handlers, we can go with application events, right?
Right, correct. Because component event is a part of application event. Agreed.
Yes. Then multiple files, multiple handlers, we can go with interface plus component events. Right.
Interface plus component. Okay, agreed. But the
Yeah.
question is that, see, it's 1 minute. I'm coming there. It is, yes, we need it. We still need application event with interface. Why? Because it is the propagation. It is not the matter of fire and handling. In event, right? Don't say that interface is just for multiple fire, multiple handling. That is one of the property. The other property is also propagation. Suppose I don't want down level, I want an up and down, left and right propagation. Can you achieve with a component event in interface? I
No,
want,
no. Yeah,
then I
siblings.
have to put a, so then if I want the siblings as well as inheritance to work in, multiple siblings can fire, multiple siblings can handle. So can I do that? No.
Oh, okay, got it.
In that case, I need it. So don't say that I
But
don't need it.
yeah,
So
suppose
it's not the matter of firing and handling, it's a matter of propagation also. So depending
okay.
on how this event has to propagate, based on that, you will decide whether I need a component. So yes, you do need application event with interface in real
But
time.
when we are both are mixed, it will more complex, right?
What both will mix? You're saying that
In,
you'll call two events
to
in one interface. Why it will be? Because both has a different name, no?
yeah,
Why it
application
will be
events it's
complex?
complex.
See,
Uh,
if you are using an application event, then you don't need a component event, because component event is a part of application event. No, application event left, right, top, down, left, right, up, down, every direction. Component event only one direction. Then that means down to up. That means down
yes,
to up is already there in application event. No. So if you are using application event, you don't need a component event.
yes, okay.
అర్థమవుతుందా లేదా?
Yes, got it.
So conflict ఉండదు, no complex at all, right? Why will I use component and application event? No, that's a foolishness, because component event propagation is already inside, right? Application component is going down to up, application is also going down to up, also application is going left and right. So that means component level propagation is already inside the application level. So why should I use two? You can use two application, or you can use two components, two component event. But you will never find in the real time a combination of a component.
I'm talking about interface plus application event only. I'm not mixed with the component plus application.
Now I'm saying about in the interface, can I have more than one event? Today in the interface I have put only one event.
Yes,
Yes, you can
yes.
put more than one event inside the interface. Will it be
Okay.
complex? No, it will not be complex, because each interface will have, each event will have its name. Each event will have its name, right? So it will not conflict. That's it, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, welcome, right? So bye bye guys. Let's meet on Monday with a new link. Till then, have a nice and wonderful day. Happy weekend. Stay home, stay safe. Bye bye guys.